Okay, listen up. So Bitcoin just bounced from one of the most important levels of support. We've broken above one of the most critical levels of resistance, and this is confirming that Bitcoin most likely has created a bottom right here. But of course, a lot of critics are talking about the CME gap. What is going to be happening with Bitcoin? Should we be worried? Is this a fake pump towards the upside right now? I am going to, of course, all discuss it on today's update video. I'm going to give a big update on my current ongoing trades on Bitcoin, on Aptos, on Ethereum. I'm currently in about $800,000 in profit, and I want to quickly break down what I'm doing with these trades here. I want to give you an update about the current fear in the market and how big of an opportunity we actually got in this market due to this most recent correction. So I'm going to be talking all about this, of course, also about Ethereum, the historical green close we're currently getting in September. So don't forget to once again slap that like button back above 1,000 likes will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away into today's update video. And to kick off the video, I straight away want to be discussing the fears in the market, and that is of course clearly the CME futures gap. And currently, of course, we're creating a major gap on the lower side, sitting around $110,000. And most people are saying, okay, since we're creating a gap, Bitcoin is ultimately going to come down. And that is, of course, arguably one of the reasons why we saw this bigger bump towards the upside. Because, of course, most people are just shorting, thinking we're going to fill up this gap. And that creates an even bigger short squeeze. Because in reality, yes, most of the CME gaps tend to get filled up here, but not every single one of them. For example, you have this one back in November 2024. We created a major CME gap on the price action on Bitcoin. And it took longer, yes, longer than 113 days before the CME gap eventually got filled up here. And that is, of course, exactly something I want to be mentioning right now as well. Yes, we are creating a clear CME gap right now in the market, but it doesn't mean it has to get filled up tomorrow. And yeah, you are definitely going to be getting shaken out if you are going to be fading it right now. For example, also here, we create a CME gap. We only filled it up a couple weeks later, and Bitcoin first moved towards the upside. And I personally think most likely, we're going to fill it up eventually, because if I'm looking at the timings of this Bitcoin bull market, we have about 5, maybe 4 weeks left here, according to history in this Bitcoin bull market. So yeah, we could be going in towards that most exponential phase right now and only fill up this gap later whenever Bitcoin is already topped out, right? And then you're going to be missing this entire rally towards the upside. So what is the strategy with my trades right now? I am in swing trade position, so I don't mind if Bitcoin is going to fall down again here. If it is going to come down towards this level around $108,000 or $110,000, I will just remain to be in my positions, because I ultimately believe Bitcoin is just in a major consolidation phase, like you can see here on the symmetrical triangle. And historically, this is of course what I mentioned in all my previous videos as well here, during these fears that potentially a World War III escalation is happening, during these fears that of course the fear and greed index is going to extreme fear, and during these times that basically we see major corrections at the end of September, it is historically a great opportunity to accumulate. So I remain to be in my long positions, and for everyone out there, I still think Bitcoin is going to be rallying up to about $130,000, maybe $137,000. That is where I will be aggressively scale out of my trades and potentially even going to be looking at potential short positions in the market. But as of for now, I am not doing so. And for my trades on Ethereum and Aptos, I really think there's going to be a major run for altcoins, because that is historically what always happens at the end stage of the cycle. And that is also why I'm continuing to hold them open. Also, that Aptos trade, I gave more details about this trade, of course, in my private Telegram group. So if you really want to be staying up to date about this trade, make sure to join my private Telegram group here, which you can find in the second link in today's video description. And in the Telegram, I basically discussed all the details about this trade, why I opened it, and of course, every single day I'm giving more updates on the market. So if you're interested in just staying up to date of all my trades, and not only my trades, because there are also 5 other professional traders in this group. Yeah, if you want to be staying up to date on all their trades as well, join the private Telegram group for sure. But in my opinion, it is a great time to still be exposed to this market and still hold long positions open. So that is, of course, something I will continue to do. Then, of course, looking at the market we are currently seeing, we're creating this major previous level resistance. And now actually within one try, we broke above it, showing us that there is a lot of strength in this market. Also, Bitcoin flipped the previous high. Right now, confirming this was most likely a bottom, and that Bitcoin is now starting to create a new trend towards the upside. So that is, of course, a very great thing to do at. And if I've just learned one thing of trading Bitcoin in all these years, is that horizontal levels are the most important levels, because horizontal levels are showing you always a lot of signs of what happened previously here, where people are interested in buying, where people are interested in selling, and you can clearly see it. This was previously around a major sell range. Now it is clearly a buy wall. So that $107 to about $108,000 level is just a major level where Bitcoin seems to be bouncing from very strongly. And if we're just looking at Bitcoin right now, zooming in here on the daily time frame, we can see a very clear structure emerge. We're starting to see a lower high structure on the top side and a higher low structure on the lower side. And you can clearly see it. You don't have to be a genius for this. And what this is basically telling us is that we're seeing a compression on Bitcoin. And a compression is always going to be breaking out eventually. And the compression breakout and the direction where it is going to go towards is where it is, of course, going to squeeze off towards, right? So if we break above the range high, we're going to see a continuation higher. If we break below the range low, then of course we're going to see a big squeeze lower. So this is very simple TA. This is basically what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. We're creating a major symmetrical triangle. Also, if you're zooming out, you can just see this is a very big pattern, not only on the 3-day time frame, but also on the weekly time frame. We're just creating a massive consolidation phase at the end stage of the Bitcoin cycle. If you're just purely looking at all the technicals, all the timings, and all the previous cycles, we are clearly at the end stage of the Bitcoin cycle. And it is a very interesting time to be exposed, right? It's a very interesting time to be looking at. And in my opinion, if we're going to get any big corrections towards the downside, if we break below this level, historically, if I'm clearly looking at this, this is the next big level of support, $73,000. And that is, of course, a massive hit towards the downside. So never be overexposed, always have good setups, always have good stop losses, etc. as well. And if you're, of course, interested in trading, just like I am doing, guys, if you're looking for a cheap exchange out there, the best exchange out there, which is also the cheapest one, is WeX. And if you sign up an account, use that first link below, you will not only get a 25% fee rebate, but like you can see over here as well, everything you deposit, you will get 20% back here. So let's say you deposit $10,000, you'll get a 20% back, so 2K to trade with as bonus. So if you're looking for an insane deposit bonus and a great and a cheap exchange out there, check out WeX in that first link in today's video description. Definitely the best exchange out there. Further on, I want to be discussing also the fact that tomorrow Q4 is going to be starting, and we are obviously going to be closing September in the green here. And historically, always whenever this happened, we've seen a very strong Q4 occur. And also what is very interesting, we're right now entering week 40. We're right now in week 39, but actually from off starting week 40, historically, the gains on Bitcoin are the best. So I'm very excited on how this is going to be playing out here. But historically, we are entering one of the most exponential periods of growth for Bitcoin. So I am very much looking forward towards how it's going to be playing out. But exciting times are going to for sure come. And if we're just looking back at all these previous bull markets, all the big rallies, all the exponential rallies higher always started in the beginning of Q4. And we are about to enter Q4. And that is, of course, very exciting to be looking at. Then Ethereum ultimately still bouncing from this very big level of here of support, which previously around was major resistance. Then you can clearly see it on the monthly time frame. This is just a very technical level on the horizontals, and you can see currently we're bouncing from it. I've said it multiple times before, I don't believe Ethereum is going to correct just moments before it's going to be breaking all-time highs. I think it's going to be running higher. Also with my trades, guys, I'm currently in about 400K in profit, but I think ETH is going to be running all the way up to about $6,000, maybe 6,500. So that is, of course, the trade I'm taking. I think it's going to run higher, and I could be making like $2 million from it. So yes, these trades are going to take a little bit longer because they're swing trades, but I'm very convinced it's going to be playing out here. Then also, if Ethereum in any case, guys, is going to get a bigger correction, I would be definitely interested in this range, 0.65 to 0.618. That is where I will be go aggressively in big long positions. So let's see how it's going to be playing out. But anyways, Ethereum bounced from this daily level of previous resistance, here flipped into support. And in my opinion, Ethereum is looking bearish until we break above this 4,700 level. So yeah, that is of course something we're going to be looking out for. Anyways, this was it for me in today's update video. If you did enjoy it, learn something from it, don't forget to slap on that like button, subscribe to the channel, and see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.